Hello students, how are you all? Welcome back to Akshar IT Foundation classes. I am your chemistry faculty S. Mohan. So grade 6 IT Foundation, so we are started in the previous class basic and importance of chemistry, right? So in this basic importance of chemistry we completed the synopsis 1 and synopsis 2. Okay, today we are not going to. I'm not going to discuss about the synopsis 2 because the synopsis 2 is about the chemical, uh, you know, um, apparatus. What are the apparatus we use in the laboratory? That is it. So that I'll take one special class in the digital board for that one to know the what are the apparatus will be used. So here I'm going to start the third synopsis today. Okay, third synopsis, that is air and weather. Okay, so if you have material, open the page number 21 from the volume 2, basic and importance of chemistry, that is synopsis 3. So students, here today's our topic is air and weather. Air, water is not there. Okay, so air and weather. So water is the next synopsis. Okay, I'm leaving it. Sure. So students, you know that what is air, right? What is air? Air is a mixture of gases, right? So I think already we have studied. What is the importance of air? Yes. So air consists of oxygen and air we use for respiration. If there is no air, we cannot survive, right? So here not only we all living organisms cannot survive without the air. Yes, so air is one of the most important component on the earth, and here this air, there is something called a presence of air around the earth is called atmosphere. So atmosphere makes the earth alive, you know that. Okay, so earth is the only planet as far as we know that where living organisms means life is there because of air, atmosphere, right? Sure. So students, here the air that surrounds the earth is called as an atmosphere. You know that if you come to the properties of air, so air has a weight. You know that air has a weight, and air exerts a pressure. Anything which has a weight exerts a pressure. If air has a weight, so air exerts a pressure. And air occupies the space. You know that if you blow the air in the balloon, so balloon bulges, and so air is occupying the space, right? So this is about the properties of air, and here the main important components of air if we see. So air is a mixture and it consists of 78% of nitrogen. How much? 78% of nitrogen and 21% of oxygen, and remaining 1%. So 78 plus 21 is 99. Remaining 1% it consists of carbon dioxide, inert gases, water vapor, etc. All this it consists. Okay, so that's a composition of air. So air is a mixture in that it consists of mainly nitrogen, that is 78%, right? And oxygen 25%, sorry 21%, and remaining 1% it consists of other gases. Okay, so here the most important component of air or water, oxygen, nitrogen, and of course carbon dioxide is also one of the important component. You know that like plants take the carbon dioxide and release the oxygen. So that's what carbon dioxide is also one of the important component of the air. Okay, so if you see the oxygen, so oxygen one of the most important component of the atmosphere or air, and here it 21% of oxygen is present, and the name to this oxygen is given by the scientist called Anthony Lavoisier. Okay, Lavoisier was the person who gave the name to the oxygen as oxygen, and you know that oxygen used as a respiration, used for what? Respiration. So we are respirating. Okay, we are taking the respiration, that is due. We are okay because of oxygen, right? And how oxygen is prepared? So oxygen is prepared. Already oxygen is present in the atmosphere. Okay, naturally it is there in the atmosphere, but even we can prepare the oxygen in the laboratory also. How? By heating the potassium chlorate. By heating the potassium chlorate. potassium chloride formula is potassium K, chloride is ClO3. So on heating potassium chloride, here it gives the oxygen. So here it is giving the oxygen, right? So oxygen is released on heating the potassium chloride. So potassium chloride on heating decomposes into potassium chloride and oxygen. And here we are using MnO2. This MnO2 acts like a catalyst. How it acts like a catalyst? Catalyst means what? Which promotes the rate of reaction is called a catalyst. Clear? Now, and how is oxygen? Can you see the oxygen odors? No. Why? Because oxygen is colorless. It do not have the color, odor, so no smell and tasteless. So oxygen is colorless, odorless and a tasteless gas, right? But of course we feel it. Okay, and then come to the oxygen supports the burning. This is very important point. Okay, oxygen supports the burning. Okay, so that's about the oxygen. Now the second component is what? Nitrogen. So nitrogen was one of the major component of atmosphere. It consists of 78%. How much it consists of? 78%. And the name to this gas is given as nitrogen by J.A. Chaptal. So Chaptal was a person who gave the name, okay, to this one as a nitrogen. And a nitrogen, okay, is present in the atmosphere naturally. And here nitrogen is very important component for the plants, okay, plants and trees, okay. So they require nitrogen, okay. How we require the oxygen, similarly plants, they require the nitrogen. So here nitrogen for the plants is provided with a process called as a nitrogen fixation, okay, nitrogen fixation. And of course nitrogen is also a colorless and odorless gas, but it put off the fire. Means what? It does not support the fire. It does not support the fire, but it will put off the fire, right? Now the third component is what? Carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide, you know that carbon dioxide, okay, so carbon dioxide is released by burning the fuels, okay. So like, you know, carbon burns in oxygen to form the carbon dioxide. And you know that carbon is the chief, okay, component of all fuels. If you take petrol, coal, gas, whatever you take, the fuel which we use as a fuel, in that carbon is a chief component, means important component. And when you burn this, okay, carbon is this fuel that releases the, okay, carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is released by burning of fuels, okay. And carbon dioxide is also a colorless. Of course, it has an odor, okay. Okay, it's a colorless gas. It's a colorless gas, right? And one more important the carbon dioxide is that plants prepare their food by using the carbon dioxide. Okay, so by using the carbon dioxide, so write as CO2. Shall I write the formula? Okay, so it's CO2, and by absorbing the water in atmosphere, water, and by using the presence of sunlight, in presence of sunlight, they form, okay, C6H12O6. This is glucose and releases the oxygen. You need to balance it. So you are in 6th class, so I'm not explaining about the balancing. Okay, so I think it's balanced. Okay, so 6 carbon dioxide, 6 water, 6 okay, 6 to 12, so 6O2. Right? So this is the, okay, so here I have written the equation, but the equation is not required. You know that CO2 means what? Carbon dioxide. H2 is what? Water. So plants prepare their food by taking the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, by absorbing the water from the ground. In presence of sunlight, they prepare their food, okay, in the form of glucose. And here it releases oxygen. It releases what? Oxygen is released. That oxygen we use for our respiration. Clear? So that is about the, okay, carbon dioxide, and this is about the components of air. Any doubt? Once see this topic. So done, students. Chalo. Now our next topic is about the properties of air and application of air. What are the properties of air? So students, just now we discussed that air has a weight. Air has a weight. So if air has a weight, that exerts a pressure. That exerts a pressure. Yes or no? For example, you see here any object which has a weight, it has exerts the pressure. For example, see this pen is there, so easily I can hold, okay, on my hand. Now what I do, if I take some object, okay, this one, so weight is increased, so I apply some pressure, okay. So if I increase the weight, still increase, okay, apply the pressure. So as the weight increases, pressure also increases, right? So weight, air has a weight, so hence air exerts a pressure. And in which direction the air exerts the pressure? Air exerts the pressure in all directions. Air exerts the pressure in all directions. So it can exert the pressure in upward direction. It can exert the pressure in downward direction. It can exert the pressure in a sideward direction also. Okay, it exerts the pressure in upward direction, downward direction, and sideward direction. Anyway, how can you say that air exerts the pressure in upward direction? So there is one simple experiment you can do it. So what you do, you take one glass tumbler. Take one glass tumbler, right? And in that glass tumbler, take the water. Okay. So here I am drawing the picture. See. So this is one glass tumbler. Now in this, take full of water. Full of water. Okay. Full of water. You take the full of water. Right. Now in that full of water, after that, what you do? Then cover one stiff paper. Okay. One thick paper. Okay. So put the thick paper over it. Okay. Over it. Take the thick paper. Right. So now take the thick paper and place on it. Okay, like this, place the paper. After placing the paper, now what you do, just press it, okay, and after pressing, now invert the glass. Now invert the glass. Now remove your hand which is downwards. Now the water tumbler is inverted. So the water is there and the paper is also there down. Now whether the water falls down? No. Okay. For certain time the water does not fall down. Why? Because the air is exerting the pressure upwards. Okay. So the air exerts the upward pressure. So due to that the water do not fall. So this upward pressure is holding the paper upwards. So that's water. The water do not fall. So this is an example for to show that water exerts upward pressure. Clear? Sure. Now next one is what air exerts downward pressure also. How can you show that air exerts downward pressure? Now what you do? Now you take one glass beaker. Okay, one beaker you take. This is one beaker, and that beaker takes some water. This is some water. Okay, and now you take one wooden block. Okay, wooden cork, something. Okay, which float on the water. Right. So now what you do? You take one wooden cork or okay, which can float on the water. So now what you do? You place this. Okay, like this. Okay, on the water, right? So placing this on the water. So what happens now? Water float. Sorry, that block will float on the water. Now you take this glass tumbler, empty glass tumbler. Now this time you take empty glass tumbler. So empty glass tumbler means what? Here it looks empty, but inside air is there. Okay, air will be there. Now you put that glass tumbler over it. Okay, over it like this, and now apply the force. Now apply the force. When you apply the force, inside the air is there, so that exerts the force okay, on this wooden block. So now what happens? This wooden block okay, comes down. Means what? It will dip inside the water. So the meaning is what? Air exerts a pressure from upper side also. Clear? So here air exerts a pressure in upward direction, air exerts a pressure in downward direction. Okay. Now air also exerts a pressure sideways. How can you see? Okay. So for this, what you do, students? It is very simple experiment. Okay. So first, what you do? You take one thin metal tin. Okay. So thin metal tin. Tin means one box like. Okay. So like this is like one box. Okay. So like this box, and this is a tin. Right. This is a tin box, and here this is opened at this side, opened, okay, this opened and all is box, right? Now, you heat slowly this box, okay, slightly you heat the box. On heating, what happens? Gas air, okay, volume increases, okay. So then what happens? Due to that, what is the air present inside? This air will move away from the tin. Okay, this air will move away from the tin. So the air is moving away from the tin. Okay, so now like vacuum is created in the tin. Vacuum is created in the tin. All air is removed, right? After removing all the air, okay, when the total air is go away from the tin, then what you do? Close it. Okay, now close with the lid. Now completely close with the lid. Now box is completely closed, right? Now take out this tin and wait for some time to cool it. Okay, now this is hot. Now take this tin and place, okay, somewhere to cool it. Now when you cool it, then what happens? From all the sides, it is compressed. From all the sides, it is compressed. So now it gets deformed. Deformed is what? It look like a crushed. It looks like what? Crushed. So here, because here air is exerting the pressure from all the sides, so due to that, it gets crushed. So from this, say we can say that even air exerts the pressure from sidewards also. So these are the some of the properties of air. So first one is what? Air has a weight, and second is what? Air exerts the pressure, and this pressure it exerts from upward direction also, downward direction also, from sideward direction also. Okay, so that's about the properties of air, some of the properties. Now then come to the applications of air, where okay, what are the applications of the air? So see students here, in the application of air, generally air blows from higher pressure area to lower pressure area. Okay, from where to where? From higher pressure region to lower pressure region. Where more pressure is there, from there it goes to the lower pressure. Okay, so this we can use in this property, we can use in the ink filler. Ink filler, you know. Okay, so we put the filler in the ink bottle and just okay, you press it and release it. So on releasing, what happens? Here the air which is present, the more pressure is there inside the ink. So on pressing, what happens? Here the low pressure is created. When you remove this, then the all ink will move into the filler. Similarly, injection syringes, we use this application. Air blows from higher pressure to lower pressure area. The same can also be used in the ventilators. Where it is used? Ventilators. Do you know the ventilators? So ventilators which are present on in our houses at the near to the roof. Near to the roof. Why? Because students here, whenever, for example, this is a room, in this air is there, right? So here, for example, a class is there, right? So in this class, nearly 20 to 25 members, some students are there, right? So when these students use the air for respiration, okay? When they respirate the air, then what happens? They can take the air and they inhale and exhale. Inhale means what? Taking the air. And when they exhale, okay, then that air what you are exhaling, that air is little warmer, the air which you are taking inside. Yes or no? So keep your hand near the nose and exhale. Okay, then what do you feel? You feel that it is warmer. The air which is coming from the nose, from our body, that is warmer. So the meaning is what? Here we are taking the fresh air and we are taking, okay, inhaling the fresh air and exhaling the, okay, warmer air. So warmer air means what is the temperature? It's warm. So the temperature is increasing. When the temperature is increases, what happens? It expands or the volume is increases. So when the volume is increases, then what happens? Here the pressure is created. So due to that, this all warmer air, okay, the hot air will move up. I think you might have seen the chimneys at the factories, you know. Okay, so then what happens? You can see the smoke coming up. Why? Because it is warm. Okay, so as it is warm, as it is hot, that will be moving up. So when you make the ventilators, okay, near the ceiling, then this hot air, what we are releasing, what we are exhaling, this hot air is going upward and it is moved away from the ventilators. As when it is moving away from the ventilators, so some gap is created here. That gap is filled up with the fresh air which is coming from the windows and the doors. Okay, so like this, we can get the fresh air, okay, for respiration. Okay, and the depression in the sea, this is also very important. So depression in the sea. Depression in the sea means water there. Okay, the air when it's got hot, then the air, okay, will move away. So then like vacuum is created, okay, in the sea. So due to that, the depression. So depression causes the cyclones. Okay, and similarly, okay, cyclone. So cyclone is forms in the seas. Okay, so these are some of the properties and applications of air. Here and during the cyclone warmth here, almost the air will move about 80 kilometers per hour to more than that. Okay, 80 kilometers per hour or more than that. Now, very high speed that air will blow. Okay, so these are the properties of air and applications of air. Let's go through this one. Okay, students. Now, next topic is air pollution. So, what is the air pollution? I think you might have known about the air pollution. What is the air pollution? Right. So here, unwanted substances or harmful substances, okay, if they enter into the atmosphere, means in the air, then we can say that that is air pollution, right? So for example, see students, here there should be a balance, okay? So like air is a mixture, we already discussed. In that 78% of nitrogen, 21% of oxygen, 1% of other gases if it is present. This is called a normal air. But here sometimes what happens, this ratio will be changes. Why? Because due to human activities or some other activities, then what happens, here the ratio will be changes. Means what? This carbon dioxide, inert gases, water vapor maybe increases and the oxygen level maybe decreases. So then that is called as a air pollution. Okay. So the presence of unwanted and harmful substances in the atmosphere or in the air is called air pollution. So air pollution, so many things causes the air pollutions. Okay, like if it is increase in the carbon dioxide and the gases released from the factories which contains the oxides of sulfur like sulfur dioxide, and you know from the refrigerators and air conditions there are some substances which are called chlorofluorocarbons which releases. These all are are the unwanted substances and harmful substances. So these unwanted and harmful substances which mix in the air causes the air pollution. Okay. So how can we control the air pollution? So here only 2 steps are given, but you know you might have already studied in the lower classes how to control the air pollution. The first one is what? Growing the green plants. Okay. If you increase the number of plants, just now in the previous slide it said that plants absorb the carbon dioxide and releases the oxygen. So they decreases the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and they increase the level of oxygen. So we can get the fresh air, right? And keeping the surroundings, our surroundings clean. So this is our responsibility, students. So keep our surroundings always clean and green, right? Now next come to the global warming and greenhouse effect. Global warming, in the name itself it is there. Globe means what? Earth. Warming means increasing the temperature. Okay, so global warming is one of the most important factor for one of the air pollution. Like okay, so here global warming, how the global warming is taking place. Okay, so global warming means what? Global means what? Earth warming, getting heated. So why the earth is getting heated? So there are so many reasons, or one of the most important reason is that the increasing the level of the carbon dioxide. Increasing the level of the carbon dioxide. So here what happens, students? Here see, for example, this is the earth. Let imagine this is the earth, right? Now from the earth, this is the earth and this is the sun. Okay, so from the sun we are getting the heat. You know that. Okay, sun is the main source of energy to us. So we are getting the sun rays. Okay, heat. After getting the sun rays, what happens after striking to the rays to the earth? They get reflected. Some of the rays will be absorbed, some of the heat is absorbed, and remaining part of the heat is reflected back. So then what happens if the reflected back, the heat will go away from the earth, then no problem. The surrounding will become cool. Okay, it will be normal. But here what happens due to the increasing in the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So if the carbon dioxide increase in the atmosphere, so this carbon dioxide does not allow the reflected heat to go away from the earth. These carbon dioxide particles do not allow, okay, the reflected heat to go away from the earth. The meaning is what these carbon dioxide particles are trapping the heat. Trapping the heat means where they are holding the heat. They are not allowing to go the heat away from the earth. So they are holding the heat, so that the heat is present in the atmosphere only. So due to that, what happens? The temperature will be increases. So this increasing in the temperature on the earth is called global warming. So see here, the rise of carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere is not desirable. This is because carbon dioxide traps the heat radiated by the earth and makes the atmosphere warmer. So as the result, the temperature of the earth rises and the phenomena is called as a global warming or greenhouse effect. Okay, that is about the global warming. Okay, then come to the weather. Do you know the weather? What is the weather? Weather is also nothing but the atmosphere only. There is nothing but the atmosphere. But the atmosphere, always the temperature do not remains constant, right? So the atmosphere, the temperature in the atmosphere will be continuously changes. If you see in the night, so atmosphere get cooled, and in the day, the atmosphere, the temperature will be increases. So now, for example, today, okay, today in the morning, if I have seen, okay, in the morning in the news, when I have seen the news, the minimum temperature is 19 degrees or 18 degrees in the Hyderabad, for example, okay, and it reaches to the 38 or 37 in the afternoon. Means what? The temperature is changing. Okay, so the change in the temperature, the change in the atmosphere is called okay, weather. So see here, you all know that the mornings are cold while the afternoons are hot. This is due to the change of state in the air. This change is called the weather. This change is called what? Weather. Okay. So weather causes the climate change, breeze, sea breeze, land breezes, etc. Okay. And this also causes what? Evaporation and condensation. What's the evaporation? The water is in the liquid state, that will be converted into the gaseous state, water vapor. Okay, water vapor. So water is converting into water vapor, that is called as a evaporation. So due to this evaporation, what's happening? The water present on the earth is converting into the water vapor and going into the atmosphere to the higher levels, right? So that's called as and forming the clouds. And when these clouds condensed, condensed means what? When the temperature is cooled, again this water vapor will be condensed, means what? Vapor to liquid, and that comes as rain to the earth. So this is called evaporation and condensation. Evaporation means what? Converting of the water into water vapor. Condensation means what? Converting of water vapor into water. That's called as a condensation. Okay. So see that the process of conversion of a liquid into vapor is called as a vaporization or evaporation. And condensation, see the process of conversion of water vapor into droplets of liquid is called as a condensation. Right. So this is nothing but a water cycle. Okay, just how I told you, water cycle. The water cycle, what happens? The water which is present on the earth due to increase in the temperature, due to the change in the weather, this water will be converting into the water vapor and going above the levels of the earth, right, atmosphere. And there it forms clouds. When the temperature becomes cold, then it gets condensed and falls of the like water. So this is called a water cycle. So the alternate changes of water to water vapor and then water vapor to water is called as a water cycle. Okay. Now here there is some other layers of atmosphere is also introduced here. So layers of atmosphere here like biosphere. Bio means what? Biology. You know biology about the living things. Okay. The part of our planet Earth where plants and animals exist. Okay. So on the planet Earth where the plants and animals exist, that is called as a biosphere. Lithosphere means what? Where stones, rocks, sands are present, that part of the earth is called as a lithosphere. Hydrosphere, where the water is present, okay, that is called as a hydrosphere. Okay, then come to the atmosphere, the blanket of air, okay, is called as a atmosphere. And the layers of atmosphere, you know that the air has some layers. The first layer is called as what? Troposphere. What is that? Troposphere. The first layer of atmosphere closer to the earth, the surroundings, is called as a troposphere. For example, in the earth, so this part very close to the earth is called as a troposphere. What is called a troposphere? Okay. The second layer of the earth is called a stratosphere. The second layer. Okay. So this layer is called as a stratosphere. The stratosphere means what? It is very high. So here jet planes will fly. Okay. Jet planes, you know. Okay. Jet planes can fly there. Okay. And here the ozone is also present in this atmosphere. What is present here? Ozone. So this ozone layer is protecting the earth from the harmful radiations called ultraviolet radiations, which are coming from the sun. Okay. Then come to the mesosphere. In this sphere, the temperature is lower than that of the stratosphere, and the sound waves cannot travel through it. Okay, sound waves cannot travel. Sound waves to travel, a medium is required. Okay, so there the atmosphere is very less, so there the sound waves cannot travel. Above that, ionosphere is there. Okay, ionosphere where the particles are present in the form of ions, and exosphere. Exosphere is nothing but which is very high, nearly 500 kilometers above the earth. Okay, 500 kilometers above the earth is called as the exosphere. Okay, so that's about the students. So with this we completed this synopsis 3, that is air and weather. Right. So now let us see the practice sheet. Open the page number 26. Okay. So first let's see the concept based questions. So in that first question you see the atmosphere protect the earth from. Atmosphere protect from where it protects harmful sun rays. That's how I told you, no, harmful sun rays. Okay, ultraviolet rays will come to us, so that they protect from the harmful sun rays. Second one, the component of air which helps in burning. Which gas helps in burning? Oxygen. Oxygen helps in burning. Dash named the gas which helps in burning as oxygen. Who just want to give the scientist name? Lavoisier, Anthony Lavoisier. So the answer is 3. The percent of nitrogen gas, is 78% of nitrogen. So the option is 3. Fifth question. Air is surrounded by the earth, which is called as what? Atmosphere. Air is surrounded by the atmosphere. Next, the option is 4. The condition of atmosphere at a particular time and the particular place is called weather. Okay. Next, global warming takes place due to the increase of the following component. Which component? Carbon dioxide. Okay. As a carbon dioxide, these are said, carbon dioxide particles increases the global warming. Identify the layer of the troposphere where jet planes fly. So jet planes fly in the stratosphere. Okay, stratosphere. So that's about the concept-based practice. Now let us see the exercise 1 also we see. Aquatic animals and plants. Aquatic animals and plants is what? The plants which are living under the water. Breathe through the water, will come out of the water, use the oxygen dissolved in water to breathe. This is okay. So the aquatic animals use the oxygen which is dissolved in the water. So oxygen dissolves in water. That's also one of the property. Oxygen is produced by, already discussed, plants during photosynthesis. So plants take the carbon dioxide to prepare their food. In this process, they releases oxygen, and this is called photosynthesis, right? So that's first option. Oxygen present in air is useful for respiration. So option is 2. Fourth question. The chemical formula of potassium chloride, already I discussed. KClO3. K potassium, ClO3 chloride. Potassium chloride is KClO3. Option is 2. Potassium chloride on heating produces oxygen gas, right? So oxygen, the option is 3. The average weather condition of a place over the long period, okay, is called the climate. What's called? Climate. Okay. And then seventh one. Air blows from a place of higher pressure to lower pressure. So option is 1. The burning splinter burns brightly in presence of oxygen because oxygen supports the burning. The percentage of oxygen and nitrogen in presence of air, 21 is to 78. So approximately that is 1 is to 4. So the option is 1 is to 4. So option is 1. The burning splinter is put out in the presence of nitrogen. So nitrogen can put out the fire. And last one, numerical type question. The percentage of nitrogen and oxygen in the air is 4 is to 1. Okay. So that's all, students. So next is my class time. So that you do. So with this we completed the third synopsis. Okay. And in the next class we discuss about the fourth synopsis, that is about the water. Okay. So students of 6th class, the air weather is one of the important topic. I hope this topic is also there in your textbook. So read perfectly. And the next topic is water. That's also important for you. Okay. So with this, we stop. Bye. Take care.